Welcome to Keep Playing, the podcast where we challenge you to stop playing for someone else's team and start building your own. We're here to bridge the gap between sports and business so you can lead, grow, and win. Game on. Hey, welcome back to the Keep Playing podcast, where Sonny Bert here with Lance Johnson, where we just love talking sports and we love talking business, and we're going to come at you hard today. It's a pretty fun topic today, really talking about being coaching, finding your role, and really figuring out how to find success in your role. And we're really going to mix the sports and the business world together real tight today, and talk about how, some of the roles that we've played have led us to where we're at today, and how we're always coachable, always learning, always trying to grow and be better at the role that we currently have, whether it's running a business, whether it's helping, being part of a family, helping friends and family, whatever that role is that you're playing, how to really be successful at that role and elevate yourself. And as you elevate yourself, you're going to elevate all those around you and really, really find more success in life, and truly be able to define what success looks like in your life, ultimately, because I think a lot of us struggle with what is success and how do we find it, and you don't build your goals up in order to find that success. So let's just dive in. Lance, good to be here again, and really rock and roll with you today, and how to play the role that really builds that success for you. So let's just jump right in, just like we always do. We just sitting in the garage. Right. If we had a beer, we'd be drinking a beer together right now. Exactly. Just shooting it and having a good time. And really just start with, know your position. Right. And really understand what that position is. Whether you're somebody that cleans up and pushes brooms, to all the way up to executive leadership, entrepreneur, business owner. But it's really important to define and know your role, and know your position within the group that you're in, and whether you're on a athletic field, whether you're in a business setting, it's always important to know your role, so that you can find that success. Because if you don't know that, you're never going to get there. So let's talk a little bit about that. Know your role. Give me some examples, Lance, where you've had to really know your role, and once you figured out what you had to do, really elevated you to where you're at and where you want to go.
Well, first of all, playing sports, when I play high school sports, coming off of grammar school basketball, I was the leading scorer. I was the leading scorer in the Catholic League in my little group. Of course, the competition wasn't the same in high school. Then I go to high school and I'm playing with guys that's like the top in the neighborhoods or top in the section. And really, the person who thought he was Michael Jordan was reduced down to just a shooter. My coach, I remember Paul Cieslak, my freshman coach, pretty much ruined my ego by telling me I had no athleticism. And I'm thinking, hey, man, I can hang in the air. I could do reverse layups. I knew I couldn't dunk. I was small, but he pretty much told me that I didn't have the athleticism to go out there and take all these crazy shots. So focus on just catch and shoot. And Catholic school, you got to play your role. You don't just shoot when you want to shoot. You got to go through picks, and so it takes a lot of discipline. So like you said, knowing your position. I was a shooting guard, and right there I got humbled really quick. I played my role because I know that if I tried to do too much, I would harm the team. We had other guys that can shoot and score. So leading that to how that relates in business, well, when I got into business, of course, in my mind, I'm thinking I want to be rich the first day I started my first job. If I never would have learned how to work those in stands and side racks at Walgreens and just listen to what my manager was telling me, I wouldn't have been able to understand this is how you keep a job. And from there on, because I had that discipline of just doing my job, I never really worried about getting fired. I always was consider myself the Michael Jordan of whatever job I've done. And just to my current job right now, is even though I'm run my own business right now, I'm still under the house of someone else who owns it. So I can't go in there talking, hey, let's do this, we have to do that. I can suggest a few things, but if I ever act like I run the place, like, hey, this music ain't what we should be listening to, I can suggest changing the music, or we need to change this up, or this person can't come in here. Then what I'm doing is I'm not the owner. I'm an independent contractor who works out of this place. So in order for me to work with everyone else, I got to understand my role is not to be the owner, but to fit in. And I think a lot of times in business, with people are so ambitious that they don't understand that there's steps to everything, and you can't get to step 5 without mastering step 1.
And it's important to say that because, I work out with you in your gym, and I know the owners, of the gym. They're in there working out too all the time, and I always see that respect that you pay to them, whether it's as simple as music or putting weights back after we're done using them. And I find the onus on myself too, working out with you to really know my role too. Right, I'm there to work out. But I also want to pay respect to you and the gym itself.
Exactly.
And I used to own a laundromat, and I had rules that I had to follow. I had hours I could be open and closed, and you got to know your role within your situation, or else you're going to get shut down. You're going to get thrown out, and then you're going to go find somewhere else, and now you got to move your entire clientele somewhere else and try and explain that to somebody that, I was disrespectful, and guess what? Now I'm out the door. I've got to go find something else. So, I can't talk enough. Probably we could probably spend 27 episodes.
It works hand in hand, especially like when you're servicing business. Like you're right, we can't talk all day, but just to make it short and sweet, how this also works as far as what I do. If I got a client that comes in and even though they hired me for personal training and they're trying to tell me what to do, they're not gonna get the benefits of what I do. Or if I sit there and I try to act like something other than a trainer, then I'm not going to be able to get this person to the goals that they need. So I already know my role. My role is not to sit there and try to act like your boss, but be your trainer. When something hurts, stop. I'm not here to make you go to, push past that. I'm here to make you strong. So we all got to know just the little roles. What job did you sign up for? What is the objective here? And master that.
Yeah, and it goes all the way back to when you start your career, right?
Right.
It's 14, 15, 16. I started working when I was 8 years old with my dad, working in a sheet metal shop, bending metal, smashing my fingers in brakes, and I wasn't allowed to use the shears because I probably wouldn't have fingers now.
We call you Lefty.
Yeah, they call me Lefty, but
big dummy.
But I knew my role even back then,
right,
and
right.
I knew the expectations of my father and his business. And coming up through, I worked at sandwich shops. I learned how to make the sandwiches. I followed the rules, and by following the rules and understanding what the expectations are, I gained. I moved up in that sandwich company.
Yeah.
I became a shift manager, so I took on more responsibility, and just by knowing my role, knowing what I had to do. And again, I think you nailed it on the head. I was the Michael Jordan of sandwiches.
There you go.
I learned how to whip sandwiches out. We got them out the door, and they were quality. They were good. They were fresh. Everything was good about it. And you get recognized, right? And some core values in our group. Recognition is one of those core values, and you get recognized, and most importantly, you recognize others, and it elevates them as well.
Yep.
So as you grow and you elevate, you got to bring everybody else with you.
Yes, you do.
And so that's the important part as well. Your role is going to change, and you should aim to change your role.
Right.
You don't always want to be stuck in the same thing, just day in and day out. At least for me, it wasn't for me. I'm always changing my role. I'm working on, and there's going to be some big announcements coming out, some role changes that I'm making right now, some different business opportunities. But I'm always trying to learn and be a new role, find a new role that I do. And we've kind of hit this already, but you got to commit to the game plan.
You got to commit.
Right? Athletes, sports, they come into a game, they've got a game plan.
Yep.
And if 10 out of 11 football players on the field at one time are committed and one guy's not, it's going to make a real
big hole, and
real big hole, and you're going to find that real quick. And the opposing team is going to take advantage of that really big hole.
Right.
So let's just talk about committing to that game plan a little bit deeper here, because you without that commitment by the entire team, which goes back to your role. Know your role, bring everybody with you, and then build that game plan, and you'll find a lot more success when you commit to that.
Right. If I'm going to commit to something, then I need to give it 150%. If I'm committed to it. If I gave you my word, then I'm committed. We decided we was going to do this. We're 100% fit. We're 150% committed to it. What I do as a trainer. My training is not just when I'm training you one-to-one. It's what I do at home. It's the training that I put in myself so that I can make sure I deliver a good product. And then also committing to the plan. I'm married. I'm making sure that me and my wife is trying to do everything in in our power to stay friends and keep moving up the ladder so that we can make this a successful marriage and then also sticking to the plan. I'm at the gym Atlas, and when I'm there, you know, everybody I'm working with, you got a lot of independent contractors, you got 3 owners. Okay, we're committed to being the best gym and having the best talent in the Valley. So my job is to not just think about how can I make myself look good, but how can I make myself look good at Alice so that people are comfortable at Alice, even if you're not a client of mine. How can I make everybody else's client feel comfortable there and want to do business with them and refer other people to come there to do more business with the other trainers? Because the more trainers we have there, I'm gonna be honest, the marina is cheaper, and also it just makes everything flow better. You want to be a part of something successful, so you got to commit to it, and that takes passion to understand. Listen, I committed to this. Let me go ahead and get my 150%. That means I got to drop whatever it is I'm dealing with before I enter into this actual job that I'm doing. I can't think about what argument I might have had at home or what didn't go right for me. I got to be present right now for my client, and I got to give them 150%. Hopefully they'll give me 150%, and that translates to everything. Like you said, sports. If you go into a game and you're on the team and you're not committed to running the plays the right way, you're thinking about, let me just score when you know that you're not the main scorer on the team, or let me just think about something else, or let me think about that girl in the stands or something like that. You're messing up the whole floor of the team, and pretty soon that little leak is going to cause a flood, and before you know it, you're out of the game.
Yeah, and you'll find as you gain more success, right, you become part of multiple teams. And I want to touch on this just for a minute because I think what you said here is so important when you talk about family.
Yeah.
And the commitment to your family when you want to go do big things is ever more important.
Yeah.
I see so many people that decommit from their families. They don't put their family as priority as much as they should. And what happens? They start to actually find less success.
Exactly.
Because your major support is right when you walk home through the door, whether your wife, kids, whatever your family structure looks like, that's your main source of support. And if you can't commit to that first, you're going to have a really hard time committing to other big passions, other big things that you want to do, because you got to go home. I know you have a huge commitment to God, right? You work on that every single day. And so I think when we talk about committing to the game plan, there's multiple game plans that we're committed to at one time.
Multiple games,
it's managing all those commitments as well.
Exactly.
And where I think, just leads right into being coachable. A lot of times, bringing a coach in to help manage these game plans.
Exactly.
Right. You look at any sports team. I don't care if it's, my son plays hockey. He has 2, sometimes 3, 4, 5 coaches, all committed to a game plan to help get them to the next level.
Yes, sir.
You get into the NFL. How many coaches you see on the sidelines? From ball boys. Everybody is just committed to this. But everybody's coachable, and that's why you have so many coaches on teams to help you through those things, help you maintain your commitments, help you maintain your goals that you want to achieve, and help you coach of what we're all talking about. What's your role? Help you coach into that different role, and help lift you up into the next role. Because at each level, you start. My son started playing hockey when he was 4. And each level comes with a different type of coach to get you to that next level. Exactly. Being coachable is one of the biggest skill sets that anybody can have. As hard as it is sometimes to sit and listen to somebody coach you, I 100% honest, I hate being told what to do.
Yeah.
And, finding the coach that can communicate with you correctly and not make it sound like they're telling me what to do, but giving me that advice and that coach ability to move me in the direction, and that could be hard at times as well. And you can see that dysfunction on teams quite often if you watch TV. You see people throwing helmets or throwing the basketball and whatever it is. You see that, and overcoming that is very, very difficult. And I can tell you one thing that I've done in my life is I've brought in coaches and I've surrounded myself with mentor-type people like yourself to help me get to where I want to be and then go further from there. So being coachable is one of the top things when it comes to your role, even if you're a sandwich maker. Whatever role that is. There was a movie one time that said they were gosh, I can't think of the name of the movie, but he was a janitor, and he said, no, I'm an engineer of clean or something like that, right?
That's where you got to look at it. Yeah.
You know, take your role that serious and have that coachability within you to be able to see that next level because you don't get to the next level by yourself.
Yeah. Well, with me, I was always taught, my mother taught me to respect authority and then act like, if you work for anybody, you work as though as if you're working under God. So a lot of people don't take their assignment like that when they're dealing with authority, and I don't like to be told what to do all the time, but it's sometimes you got people that micro coach you, and then you got people that macro coach you. And I feel like when you're growing up with your mom, dad, and then when you got your wife or you with your family or your closest friends, those are the micro coaches because they can see the little bit. They can see your life. They can see the things that you need to work on. But when you're at work or when you're dealing with a boss or you're dealing with a client or a mentor, they see the macro. They see the big picture. And a lot of times the micro coaches can't talk to you to motivate you for the macro picture, but the macro coaches can make sure that they shore up some of the little loose ends that's on the lower end. The point I'm trying to make is my father used to scream at the TV constantly. He used to tell players all the time, I wish your mama should have never had you. You the worst dude on the planet. He cussed out every Chicago Bear, every Chicago Cub, every sports team that he had money on. He called every player names. You would think that these kids didn't have parents and then, they was just nothing. He called them some names I can't even repeat. But the point was I've always dreamed about never being that person on the TV that somebody's cussing out. And in order to do that, you got to follow the play. If you don't run the play right and you exposed, then and everything goes haywire, you got to say, well, look, this didn't go right, but I did what my coach told me to do. So now this is not my problem. This is my coach's problem. But if I didn't follow what my coach told me to do and I decided to do something to screw up, now I got to own it. And who's to say that I'm going to get that trust from that coach or from that organization or from whatever situation I'm in again to give me that opportunity again to make that wrong right. So be coachable, do the very best you can, respect authority, and that's the only way you're going to move up. I got 5 coaches. I got 3 coaches. I got 3 trainers right now, and I train 40, 50 people right now. I need coaches. I need people to pour into me so I can pour into them. And until I die, I'm going to always have a coach. As long as I'm married, as long as there's a minister somewhere, as long as there's a you around, somebody that's trying to go up or take me up, I'm going to give them the ear to listen to them because that's the only way you're going to be able to go. You got to be led. You don't need to just wander blindly.
Right. Your coach needs to be 3, 5, 10 steps in front of where you want to be.
Exactly.
And then the people that you have, that you're mentoring, it's just that elevation cycle and bringing others along with you. Yep. And that's glory right there.
Yeah.
When you get into that and now you see others around you that are doing better and that selfishness goes away and boy, oh boy, does a team excel then.
Exactly. Exactly.
Does it just move much faster,
Yep.
much smoother? You see a team, a football team on a Sunday, I don't care what level you're at, that everybody's elevated together and their motions are just seamless.
Yeah.
They've put in the work. They trust each other,
Yep.
which is a big, big deal.
Yep.
The trust that the person next to you is going to do what they need to do in the game plan that the coach has told you, because the coach has been there 5 times
Yep.
before and they know how to get there.
Yep.
And just being able to follow those simple instructions and be able to be coachable and be able then to translate to everybody around you, to elevate everybody together. And then people start to look up to you.
Exactly.
Right. And we've talked about leadership before.
Yep.
Right. And everything we relate back to, our 4 the 4 pillars.
Yep.
It's exactly what we're talking about here today.
It's going to be that way for all these podcasts.
It is. And that's just the way it is elevation, elevation, elevation.
Yep.
Bringing others with you to really get to that leadership role, whether it's on a sports team or whether you're leading a team in your business. And even if it's not your business, most business structures have different levels of management. And those levels of management are all required to elevate others.
Exactly.
And I had one guy tell me one time, he says, I need you to train your replacement. And me being not as well educated and coached at that time, I'm like, well, why would I want to What am I going to do then?
Right.
Without knowing that
You might be elevated, and that person might take you out.
yep,
Exactly.
I can't go nowhere
Yep.
until I elevate somebody to take me.
Yep.
And so many people are afraid of elevating others in fear of their own position.
Yeah, exactly.
And it should be just the opposite. If you can elevate somebody to your level, that makes you going to elevate to that next level.
Exactly.
And that's it. That's the only way to do it. You don't just automatically move, because especially in a company structure, if you're doing your job and you're playing your role and you're doing it and you're committed to the game plan, they can't move you and leave a gap.
Right.
But if you move somebody there, it makes you that much more committed to the game plan. It shows your worth to that structure. And just like, from a business owner standpoint, I want to elevate people to take over the roles that I have.
Right.
I play multiple roles within my business now, and I want to elevate people and bring them into those roles so that I can go do other things to help elevate even more.
Yeah, you see that. You got people running laundromats for you right now and doing all that other type of stuff. You can see the people that you brought up. So, yeah, everything, the points that you just all hit on, exactly. If you're a leader or if you're playing your role, you should be able to bring everybody up. You think of somebody like Steve Kerr, when you just said has the experience as far as winning championships. He won championships under Phil Jackson. He won championships under Greg Popovich. He's won as a player. He's done all these different things. So it was nothing for him to walk into the Golden State role and get the respect of these guys and pretty much know what it takes to win, to manage a dynasty, and what roles everybody needs to play in order to manage a dynasty. You look at Golden State, you got one shooter in Steph, you had complementary parts in Klay Thompson or the other guys that's around there, Gary Payton, and then you got one enforcer in Draymond. And Draymond, your only job is to sit around here and cause havoc. Well, if you know your role and everybody's doing what they're supposed to do, then right, the whole team is going to elevate to championships status, and then work. And like you said, if it's not about trying to pull somebody up that can do your job, then in my case, say if you use my business for example, if I don't train anyone else to train like me, then I'm going to be stuck with the clients that I have now. But it's important that I bring somebody else to learn to do what I'm doing so that I can go out there and get more clients, because I believe that the talent that God's blessed me with, it should be shared with everybody. And I want to be able to help everybody, but there's no way possible I can help everybody. So I'm going to need to get somebody to help me that understands the same the same disciplines I know and the same training I know, and just pretty much do like how I train, where I can trust them with some clients to be able to move on, so I can go ahead and get some fresh clients. And that's just a part of success, and that's just a part of playing your role, and that's some of the benefits of playing your role, elevating the game.
And you show up every day like it's game day.
Yep.
Every day like it's game time, and you train like you're going to play.
Yep.
If you're only going to train and go half speed, well, you're going to play the game half speed.
Right.
And I can tell you, once you get into the business world, there is only one speed, and it's in the fast lane, and it's thousands of miles an hour.
Formula One.
And you're going to get run over if you're not working every single day to learn, grow, be coached at a high level.
Right.
You're going to get passed. You're not going to find that promotion. You're going to lose market share.
Right.
Right. It's high speed, just like sports.
Right.
If you're in the gym and you're only doing 25, 50%, 75% of what you should be doing or what you can be doing, when it comes game time, your opponents over there have been doing 100%.
Yeah.
Now you got to figure out how to make that up.
Preparation.
And it's just not right. So, and I love what you just said there with preparation. And, as we kind of wrap, here a little bit,
how does this time fly like this?
Just,
we be,
it's the garage talk, man. That's just the way things
did we
work.
just get started? But yeah, you're right. So the landing plane consistency is what helps you get from your house to work on time. You know the speed limits. You know how fast you need to drive. If you decide to go 20 in a 45, or you decide to go 5 in a 25 and trying to go to work, you're not going to get to work at your designated ETA time. So it's all that's just in life. It's certain speeds that you have to go at. It's certain consistency that you got to be able to bring every day in order to get the performance that you want out of your day. So if you don't do that, then expect irregularities and you expect things to go up and down. But if you stay consistent, then you can just keep building off of that and stack them up like Legos. And before you know it, you got your own thing going for you.
Yeah, and the one, I'll leave us with this, Lance. I always used to hear, we got to be perfect. We got to be perfect. No. And I've learned over the years, the definition of perfect is so imperfect.
Yeah, right.
And anymore nowadays, I just work my butt off to achieve excellence.
There you go.
And that's it. Plain and simple. I know perfection is way down there, and I don't even see it anymore because it's not achievable.
Right.
But excellence every single day is.
Yep. Like my brother would say, hello, you got it. Hello, right there. That's my brother say that all the time. Yeah. There you go, man.
Well, we'll tie this one up with a bow. Another amazing chat here about, growing yourself, taking sports, and really being an athlete in the business world.
Yep.
So we'll wrap this one up. Until next time, keep playing. Thanks for tuning in to Keep Playing with Sonny Bert and Lance Johnson, the show where athletes turn sports into business success. If today's episode hit a home run, be sure to follow, rate, and review the show. Share it with a teammate and tag us on socials to keep the conversation going. And remember, the season might end, but the game never does.
Keep showing up, keep growing, and most of all, keep playing.